Hey guys, the Art of Justice here, and I thought today we're going to be discussing how to find images for your vision board, and also along with that, what exactly is the law of attraction. So I went around my house and I found a bunch of magazines that either were old or we don't read or just no one was using, and I got a whole pile, sat down, and just you flick through and find any images that strike you as inspiring, reflect something you want in life. For example, right here, my very first one, be an inspiration. I want to be an inspiration whenever I can. I want to be an inspiration to my sisters. I always play that role. I want to inspire others with my art. So this one struck, although I ended up not using it just because I found another quote headline that was similar. That was something that was very important to me. This image right here of the Eiffel Tower was absolutely breathtaking. It's one of my favorite images, if not the best image that I found just going through the magazines this time, and it's one of the most striking pieces of my foundation pieces of my vision board this year. Law of attraction is really why we're creating the vision board, because basically what the law of attraction is that whatever you think about, whether it be negative or positive, your subconscious mind will then will work to bring it into real life. Whether it's negative, whether it's positive, it's going to put some actions in motion and manifest itself. I don't study the law of attraction for a living, so this is just based off of things that I've seen, heard, and just my own personal experiences. I do have some own goals that have manifested and also just seen it in action. So, yeah. Rescuing dogs is something that I would love to do. Just rescuing animals in general, so I ripped this out. I actually will find a better image later in the video. I think it's in part 2, and I'll use that one instead. But just, if you see an image, just rip it out, because if you end up not using it, it's completely fine. As long as you want to have as many images as possible so that you can really fill that board up and manifest as many things as you possibly can. Now this perfume right here, this Twilly, I don't know, I'm not a perfume expert, I don't know how to pronounce these names. Hermes, I'm probably butchering it, but it smells amazing, guys. It smelled so good, and the packaging was so extra, and I love it as a graphic designer, as an artist. It was beautiful. I enjoyed the experience, and yeah, you guys should go get this because it was magical. For this image, because you're worth it, I just always want to, even if you do feel like you're a self-confident person, you have high self-esteem. I personally have not always had high self-esteem. I think that I do now, but I just always want to remind myself daily about that, so that I never lose that thought and I don't have to backtrack. Like, I want to keep those thoughts in my head. So that's another thing, like, find as many powerful headlines as you possibly can when doing this, because in the long run, those, even if they don't necessarily reflect your goals, if they say you're beautiful, stand out, it's your time to shine was one that I found. All those sayings are going to, when you see them daily, they're going to lift you up. Maybe you're having a bad day, you're thinking bad thoughts. Those sayings are going to really lift you and make your day a little bit brighter. Okay, so now it is story time, I think. So if you know, you may or may not know that I've been doing trade shows for the past year. And those trade shows have been with my best friend. Like, I've probably like 90%, if not more, of them have been with her. I think she had to miss a couple of them because of work or some other situation. But for the most part, she's been there. And my friend tends to be a very negative person. So this particular show, she was saying a lot of things out loud specifically, which if you say it in your head or if you say it out loud, either way, it's going to start coming true. The power of putting that negative energy into the air directly, that's just like destructive. Yeah, she was saying things like, no one wants to buy my art, it's not that good, just really bad things. And she was just getting kind of frustrated because no one was really buying. And at this point, we had done a couple shows, we hadn't really sold anything, and she was you could just physically see her giving up, which really hurts me, just seeing and knowing how much of an amazing artist she is. And I never really participated or commented just because I didn't want to reflect that negative energy basically reflecting me, and in turn affecting me as well, because I knew as someone that believes in the law of attraction that wasn't good and that wasn't going to end up well. So as soon as I made that sale, her spirits were instantly lifted. It was like she realized, wait, we can make money. Once again, she came out of that funk and she, kept trying. All of a sudden just started making an actual effort to connect with customers, talk with them, being really friendly. But at that point, she had put so much negative energy into the air that there was no coming back from it. And of course, she didn't make any sales that day. And it just goes to show the power of negative energy in that moment, and how one bad day can really make a bad day worse. A bad moment can make a bad day worse. Me and my mom were pushing her before I made that sale to connect with some customers that we saw were pretty interested in her work. And she was just in such of a funk that she couldn't just get up and, make that effort until she saw that my positive energy had good outcomes. And then suddenly she tried to bring that positive energy back into her, but it was too late. And that's just one of my biggest like moment to moment examples of the law of attraction. I have had a couple goals that have come true that I feel like have a lot to do with the law of attraction, but they're pretty small, so that's probably my biggest experience at this point. Now, in this specific edition, they had a lot of women empowerment. I think it was a lot of women that had made a lot of amazing things happen in 2017, and they had powerful headlines, to such and such and such. So I had too creative and too smart to silence, just because you are an intelligent, creative woman, and I want to remind myself that I am worth it. I am intelligent. I am creative, and there is no one that's going to tear me down. And I am powerful. And once again, just finding those, I picked this one out, whatever makes you feel beautiful. That is something that I struggled with for the longest, just wearing things just to wear them because someone might have gifted me something and not really feeling beautiful in my own skin. So that one was really important to me, even though I didn't end up using it just because it kind of clashed. It was a very important thing that I found. Now, if you haven't already, I definitely would recommend you watching The Secret. I think it's produced by Oprah. I know Oprah's also in it very much, and it is the movie that introduced me and my mother to the law of attraction. It changed our lives, obviously, our mindsets, our philosophies, and just the way we go about life. It really made me consider what life I wanted for myself, and made me envision it and really start to work towards it. And that's what you're trying to do with this vision board. You're trying to envision the future that you want. You really want to decide what you want and put it here so that you can then, your subconscious mind can assist you with making it come true. So don't think like you can just put a picture up here and then it's just going to come true magically. It's more than that. You still need to put in effort. You still need to take those steps. Like, you can't just put, I want to go on a trip to Africa and then wait for it to happen. You need to save up for that and just really work towards it. And what do you need to pack? How are you going to get there? Passports. Like, you can't just sit on your behind and wait for that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Do you believe in the law of attraction? Comment in the video below, and I'll see you guys next time.